So we've hit the putts. We've hit a lot of putts on this, and it's been very, very interesting. So I'm going to give you kind of my thoughts. I've got lots of data, lots of graphs, bits and pieces here, but one of the things I do find, so setting a strike, most golfers struggle with. It takes a lot of practice to middle the putter, have the face not twisting, transfer the energy properly. And one thing I do find, this has been an issue I've always found with people with this, is if they are mishitting it, what it does, obviously, as the face is impacting, it's changing the loft which is presenting, which in turn changes the spins, changes what goes on, which massively impacts is where the ball's bouncing when it lands on the green. So everyone kind of thinks the ball rolls. It's not about getting it rolled, it's about the ball will have to come out of depression. It will travel through the air, kind of 5 to 7 inches, give you a ballpark. Then it will bounce again, then it will bounce again. And depending how long the putt is, it will settle and it'll start running on the green. Generally, kind of, you could say, you know, we might talk point of true roll where the side spins have gone off it, but it's the consistency of where it's landing. So you imagine if you've got a putt and it's landing in different spots, you know, 2 inches to start of differential, then guess what, that gets magnified, it's 4 inches different spot. It's very, very hard to, you know, control your speed and the energy transfer will go back to it. I'll let Dave kind of tell you a little bit what happened about the bounce. And this is my big thing, the consistency of launch and the bounce. So we hit lots of putts. Going to leave him with one kind of thing here. In terms of the bounce and what the ball's doing in terms of relationship to the floor, you've seen the graphs, we've got a graph up here, the vertical bounce. What was the big finding we found with Procore?
The consistency.
Yeah. And this is the thing we talk about with putting. In all golf swing, it's about being consistent, repeating the action.
Yeah.
The consistency of bounce was absolutely massive in terms of what was going on with the Procore. We put that in, completely changed it. What I'm going to do is just quickly grab one of these up while we're on it. And I will give you the screenshots and we'll go more into detail on this. But I just want to go into the consistency of what was actually going on. So I'm going to grab up a quick summary page, overview here, and I'm going to talk about launch angle. So what we did, we kind of found, without Procore, there was a 4-degree discrepancy in launch of the ball, regardless of what else is going on. The ball's coming off, you know, might be between 0 and 4 degrees of launch. When we put the Procore in, I'm going to give you an exact number here. The launch angle variation was 0.71. So absolutely massive improvement in terms of what's going on. So now we've got a ball which is coming out on the same flight. It's repeating itself. And even more so, the toe and heel contacts, it's super tight. It's launching properly, which means we're not adding spins to the ball. So guess what? The spins, the back spins on the ball become more consistent. The side spins on the ball become more consistent. And it's not about it being perfect. It's about the consistency that brings. You could say if you're constantly able to repeat the spins off a ball, it interacts with the floor properly, and then it's just, you can understand, you can start to control speed. So, but what I want Dave just to tell me about kind of, he's done a lot of research on this before, and especially the stuff up at Sheffield. What have been you could say that's my kind of key takeaway as a putting coach, that's kind of what I'm looking for as one of the big things. What's been, more importantly, from all the research you've done, what have been kind of your key, just for putting to start, your key takeaways from what you found the influence it's made on putting?
Well, I think, yeah, the key takeaways for sure are when you have a hollow shaft, you've got a lot of noise going on at impact. You've got to remember that you've got a stationary ball with an object hitting it, so you've got a collision going on. The ball stays on the face of a putter at roughly 0.5 of a millisecond. So you've got, in that time, you've got 15 transfers of energy and noise and vibration hitting the ball where it's going up and down the shaft.
It's quite a scary number, isn't it? We all think it just
It's
goes
huge.
up and down. It doesn't.
So the other thing that, as soon as you add Procore, you suddenly get a situation where the ball stays on the face longer, so the transfer of energy is increasing, and it's an 18% increase in kinetic energy. That's huge. But one of the things that's contrary to most putter manufacturers in what we do is the ball actually stays on the face longer, therefore the ball skids further, but it skids much more accurately, and the launch is always consistent to the target. And as soon as you take Procore out, it moves all over the place, as your figures showed.
And we found that.
So that's one of the big things I took away from what we did at Sheffield.
The inconsistencies. Now we talk about this apart, the inconsistency. If you can't control it, you could say manufacturers are always going after more technology in terms of the heads, making it more stable. The off-centre hit, trying to help the average golfer get better. Elite golfers are elite golfers. They're not really relevant to most players. Most, you know, and we look at putter styles as well, and why certain players use certain putter styles. But we're looking at the normal golfer. So you at home, and what we're looking at is there's all this tech in putters, and a visual and a collision. But kind of Dave's the first one out there to really look at actually there's energy on collision, like we know, controlling that energy and actually taking use of the energy, not wasting it. Not allowing it to go for no reason, actually harvesting that energy and make it work for your own benefit. And that is really the beauty of Procore.
It is.
It's something what no one else has done.
And that's whether it's a putter or a driver and everything in between, because exactly the same principles apply across every single club in the bag. And that's that transfer of energy and consistency of ball flight, stability of the shaft, and the ball performance is so much more precise.
Then that's what it is. You've got to remember, this is state-of-the-art new product. You won't have seen it before, you won't have heard anything about it before. And it's Dave's product, Dave's design, it's super new. So as more and more stuff comes out, you're going to see it more and more on tour, and I know you're going to see more and more players using it on tour because they want to refine what they've got. They want to, doing different than a Formula One car, isn't it? This is kind of, could say, the missing piece in golf technology, what no one's really gone into.
Well, one of the things that's happened on our journey is the R&A, one of the directors, put it into his wedges. This is going back to the old unit, which was 8 grams at the time, and he said, "You've changed golf forever." Quite a statement. We've then had other people on that journey have said, and these are people fairly high up in golf, and they've actually said it's the 4th component. So you've got the head, you've got the shaft, you've got the grip, and truly, Procore is the 4th component.
It's
and it should
energy.
be, and people are now saying with the new 3 gram one, it should be in every single club in the bag, and it should, because it makes that much difference to performance for the player and the feel and the enjoyment of the game.
Yeah,
Makes it slightly simpler.
Whether manufacturers take it on and they stick it in there is kind of irrelevant. It doesn't stop you from having it done, getting the process yourself, and basically you're getting a kickstart over your buddies.
Yeah,
know?
take their money.
And take your friends' money. You take your four balls' money. What more pride can you get than doing that on a Saturday morning?
That's right.
And just enjoying it. But there will be more stuff coming on this, and it's lovely having Dave in and kind of getting to spend some. For me, it's a privilege getting to spend some time with him and pick his brains a little bit and ask him about different subjects and bits and pieces and get his years and years. He's not that old, but his years of experience.
Old enough.
To just learn from and understand. And it's been a fun journey getting to know about Procore, trying Procore, using Procore, put it in my own bag, and really enjoying it. But thank you, Dave, very much for giving everyone an insight into Procore, and we look forward to sharing some more data and
yeah, we'll do some more. Thanks, Ben.
The start of the journey.
Very good.